Hi, hi guys. Am I audible? Am I audible now? Yes. Will you please excuse us for today? There's some problem occurring from some technical problem. You won't be able to see me today. Will it do if you can just hear me? Is that fine with you? Okay, thank you. Thanks for cooperating. Thank you. So, first of all, very sorry for this problem, but we can't help it. Can't help it for today. Please adjust for today. Thank you so much. Hmm. Uh, no issues. Thank you so much. The topic. So we are done with the current affairs topic. Okay. What you have to do, I have been kept telling you in all the 5 lectures that you have to prepare on your own, keep yourself updated. You have to know the basic things. Okay. Now the next topic we are taking today is communication part. Am I audible to you all? We are done with current affairs. We are taking up a different topic today, that is communication. So, it's actually a blessing in disguise that there is no video today. It's an activity for you today. What you have to do today, we are taking up listening skills. So, maybe there's no page. Sorry, you just have to listen today. I'll share the PDF in the next lecture. Okay. Since this is we're talking about listening skills, so I just want to check your listening skills. Okay. Then in the end we'll have an interactive session, and next lecture also we'll be taking listening. So I'll be sharing the PDF in the next lecture. Don't worry. Today I had thought I'll give you an activity, so this has become a blessing in disguise. I'll share the PDF in the next lecture. Please do not keep asking for the PDFs. Yeah. Since we are taking up today the listening skills, so first of all, I'm teaching communication skills. For listening, it is very, very important that you don't get distracted and don't distract others also. First of all, this is a test for you guys. I just want to see how much you are good at listening. So, first of all, can you just tell me what soft skills are? This is a test for you actually. This is an activity for you to listen carefully. You can't see me today. Can you just tell me what? Can you give me the examples of soft skills? What are soft skills? Soft skills. Yes, speaking, communication skills. Very good. Or listening. Yes, teamwork, positivity. Good. Listening skills. Reading, listening. Yeah. Writing. Good. Decision making. Very good. Leadership. So, what comes under soft skills are, please listen carefully, their communication skills, their leadership skills, their teamwork, problem solving skills, time management, stress management, work ethics, interpersonal skills. Okay, now can you tell me what are the hard skills? There is no page number today. आपको आज सिर्फ सुनना है. We are taking up this topic, listening skills. So just listen, and whatever I ask, give the answer. I want to test your listening skills. Do not interrupt by asking unnecessary questions, please. Can you tell me what are the hard skills? Hard skills? Okay, if you have the notebook, you can note down. I'm just giving you the examples of hard skills. They are like computer skills, like marketing skills. They are the hard skills. Okay. Now, how do the soft skill differ from hard skills? I'm speaking very slowly. Okay, you can easily note down the points or just listen. Listen carefully. Absorb it. That is the activity for you. So, how do they differ from hard skills, soft skills? See, hard skills are related to specific technical knowledge and training, like computer skills, marketing skills, while soft skills are personality traits such as communication skills, listening skills, etc. So, difference between hard skills and soft skills is hard skills are related to specific technical knowledge and training like computer and marketing skills, while soft skills, they are personality traits such as communication, listening, writing, reading, etc. Okay, now both types of skills are necessary to successfully perform and advance in most of the jobs. You need both type of skills, hard skills as well as soft skills to perform in any job. Your hard skills, your hard skill is in the form of your degree, your qualification. Your hard skill in the form of your degree or qualification, it may just get you a job. But soft skills, they play a very, very important role in defining how you perform the job. Are you getting me? Do you get me? Okay, good. Yes, that means you are listening very carefully. That is the skill required for success of anything. We are taking the topic soft skills. I just told you what soft skills are, what hard skills are, and now both types of skills are necessary to successfully perform and advance in most of the jobs. Hard skills like your degree, your qualification, they may just get you a job, but soft skills, they play a very, very important role in defining how you perform the job. Your hard skills, it may reflect that you are fit for a specific job, but it's your soft skills that determine that you perfectly fit for a job. Hard skills may reflect that you are fit for a specific job, but soft skills that determine that you are perfectly fit for any job. Soft skills they are part of your personality. As I told you, soft skills are personality traits. Personality traits means the virtues you have in your personality. कौन? आपकी personality में जो inbuilt जो चीजें हैं, traits हैं, they are called soft skills. But it's not that you cannot acquire the soft skills. Since they are part of personality, but they can be acquired or learned. Can you tell me how they can be acquired or learned? There is only one way to learn or acquire the soft skills. There is only one way. Practice. Very good, Nandini. Thank you. Experience and practice. Practice is the only way through which you can acquire soft skills. Yes, practice is the only way. Very good. So, to get hired, you have to display the right mix of right, hard, and soft skills in a right way. Okay? If you want to get hired anywhere, you have to have a right mix of right, hard, and soft skills in a right way. Good. So, the challenges of the present time. What are the challenges of the present time? Challenges. While a couple of decades or more back, when there was less of distraction in the form of mobiles and internet, people used to interact more. You would agree with me, right? When there were less distractions in the form of mobile or internet, people used to interact more. There, soft skills could be inculcated naturally. Do you agree? Do you agree with me? At that time, soft skills could be inculcated naturally and very easily. However, in today's time, with the technology upgradation, we have become very high tech. These youngsters, you guys, or other also, they prefer to spend most of their time on their MacBook or smartphone instead of interacting. Do you agree? You guys, right, Nandini? Yeah. Kashmira? Yes, you also agree? Yes. Okay. So, I'll take a typical example which I see every day when my daughter goes to the college. Van comes to pick her up for college, and the students sitting inside already. They won't even lift their faces, acknowledge each other's presence. This I have seen. I see every day. Conversation is just leave aside this conversation. They would not even lift their faces to acknowledge each other's presence. They all are busy on their phones, right? Everybody, even you guys. Every time your head is down, not not for in praise of God or you are praying to God, not for that, but your heads are down just for because you guys are busy on your phones. So now this poses a serious challenge. When the same you guys or the youngsters, they will join you when you join the corporates. You will be expected to deliver in departments such as marketing, HR, or CS even. CS, these are all public seats. You are the public officers. You guys will be the public officers, marketing guys, HR guys. You have to deal with public outside agencies. So, do you think by becoming introvert like that, would you be able to communicate and get the business for the organization? No. So, soft skills, they are the need of the hour. They are the need of the hour. You guys have to have the soft skills. These are the personality traits which can be acquired through practice only. Okay? I just want to check how much you are listening. I just want to check your listening skills. Now, as we said, part of soft skill. You guys told me example of soft skills, communication skills, right? So our topic for today is communication, which is a part of soft skill. So can you define what communication is? You must have studied many times and in your BS subject also in 12th. Communication, interact with each other, interaction between people, good. Process of exchanges of ideas, very good. Exchanging informations, yes, good answer, good. Yes, when we pass our ideas, we exchange of ideas, transmit information, very good, Kaushal. Yeah, fraction of ideas, good, Silva. Yeah. So, communication is the process of transferring messages which happen with or without words. It's an act of sharing or exchanging information, thoughts, ideas, feelings. Good. You guys, everybody knows. There have to be at least two parties. Minimum two parties are required for this process of communication. Now, what is effective communication? Can you tell me? What is effective communication? There is a difference between communication and effective communication. Yes, Lakshmi, good. Making other understand, no barriers. Garima, good. Okay. Effective communication. Now listen carefully. When a person whom you're talking to listens actively, absorbs your point, understand, and respond back accordingly, that is called effective communication. मैंने एक इंसान ने बात किया सामने वाले से, मैंने जो बोला सामने वाले ने सुना, सुनकर उसको इंटरप्रेट करके वापस मुझे जवाब दिया और मैंने समझ लिया कि सामने वाले ने समझ ली मेरी बात. That is called complete and effective communication when a person whom you are talking to listens actively, absorbs your point, understands, and responds back accordingly. Responds back accordingly. That is called effective communication. Okay. Now, listening is a very, very important or vital part of effective communication. It is a language modality. Modality means it's a mode. Listening is a very, very important and vital part of effective communication. It is a key to receiving messages effectively. Please listen carefully. Since we are talking about listening skills, listen carefully. When I'll ask the question, only then you give the answers. Okay, that is effective communication. When I'll ask, you then send your answers. Otherwise, please listen carefully since this is listening skills. It is a key to receiving messages effectively. What is listening? It's a combination of hearing what another person says and psychological involvement with the person who is talking. Okay. First, it's a key to receiving messages, listening skill. Key to receiving messages effectively. It is a combination of hearing. Combination of hearing what other person says and psychological involvement with the person who is talking. It is a skill of language. It requires a desire to understand another person, an attitude of respect and acceptance. Okay. There should be a willingness also to open one's mind to try and see things from another person's point of view. This perspective. Again, it requires a high level of concentration and energy, which you guys are doing now. High level of concentration and energy. It demands that we set aside our own thoughts and agendas, put ourselves in another's shoes, and try to see the world through that person's eyes. So, may I ask you the points I told you just now? Can you share? I just want to check your listening skills. Show empathy, desire to understand, good. Psychological involvement, very good. High level of concentration, very good, Garima. Hearing, combination of hearing, yes. Faucet, good. Concentration and energy, good, Sakshi. Willing to know, avoid distraction, concentration and energy. Okay, you guys are listening very carefully. So this type of listening skill is required to achieve success in any field. Okay. Next, listening involves active involvement of an individual, which you guys are doing now. Active involvement of an individual. Listening involves a sender, message, and a receiver. It's a psychological process of receiving, tending to constructing meaning from, and responding to spoken or non-verbal messages. It needs active involvement of an individual. It involves a sender, a message, and a receiver. It's a psychological process of receiving, constructing meaning, and responding to spoken or non-verbal messages. So, listening is the ability to accurately receive and interpret messages in the communication process. It is the ability to accurately receive and interpret messages in the communication process. So, communication process. Now, there is a process of listening also. This process involves 6 stages. Please listen carefully. Process of listening. Schmidt Kaur, there is no page number. I'll share the PDF with you. They are just my notes. I'll share the PDF with you. Please have patience. Please listen to what I'm saying. Thank you. Today is the topic for listening skills. Thank you, Ishmi. Listening skills. So you have to listen carefully. This is an activity for you. I told you if there is no video available today, I am taking it as a blessing in disguise. The topic I wanted to take up on listening, you actually have to listen now without seeing me. I want to check your listening skills. Okay. Now the process of listening. It involves 6 steps. Please pay attention. Listening process involves 6 steps. First is hearing and attention. First is hearing. Some of you are only hearing, not listening. So there is a difference between hearing and listening. First step in the process of listening is hearing. What is hearing now? Hearing. Can you tell me? Hearing. Yes. Receiving. Good, Shipra. Receiving sound only. Get the sound into your ears. Very good. Good. So, okay. Hearing is an act of perceiving sound and receiving sound waves or vibrations in your ears. Okay, stop now. Hearing is an act of perceiving sound. Perceiving means noticing or realizing something. It is an act of perceiving sound and receiving sound waves or vibrations through our ears. Okay. Hearing is the perception of sound waves. This is the important condition. Hearing is the perception of sound waves. You must hear to listen. Must hear to listen. For listening, this is the precondition that you must hear before you listen. Perception means noticing or realizing something. Perception is important in hearing. You must hear to listen, but you need not listen to hear. Understand that? You must hear to listen, but you need not listen to hear. So, perception is important or necessary because perception is important because listening depends upon attention. Second step. Perception is necessary because listening depends upon attention. Our brain screens stimuli. Stimuli is what? The input. What other person says. That is stimuli. Stimulus is what one person says, the first person. And stimuli is what other person says, input. So our brain that screens the inputs and permits only a select few to come into focus. You would agree. Our brain screens the inputs. कोई दूसरा क्या कह रहा है हम उसमें से उतना ही सुनते हैं जितना हमको सुनना है और जिस पे हमको अटेंशन देनी है. तो our brain screens stimuli permits only a select few to come into focus. Now, this selective perception is known as attention. What we have screened and permitted to go inside our brain. Okay, we have selected that. So, when we select, then the selective perception is known as perception is noticing. What we notice selectively, that is known as attention. Okay. You get me? Okay. So, attention is an important requirement for effective listening. What you guys are doing now, you are paying full attention. That's why you are able to respond. That type of listening is required for effective communication, and since this is a vital part of effective communication, listening, so one has to develop the skill that he is just not hearing, he is paying attention and he is listening. Then it will the effective communication will take place. Okay, so first step in the process of effective listening is, or listening skill is, first step is hearing. Very good, Sunidhi. Good. Yes, Jyoti. Hearing, hearing. And second is attention. What you guys are paying now. Attention. Good. Okay. Now the third step. Hearing and attention. What is hearing? Now you got. It is just an act of perceiving sound, receiving sound waves or vibrations through our ears. Okay. It's just a sound, hearing. For listening, hearing is important, but we need not listen to hear. For hearing, listening is not important. What is important? Perception is necessary because listening depends upon attention. Perception is noticing. So if we will not notice, If you will not notice, how will you respond? Hearing plus attention is equal to listening. Okay, Falguni? So attention is important, which you are paying now. Without attention, you will just be hearing, you will not be listening. Okay. Now the third step is understanding. First was hearing, second was attention, third is understanding. Now, what comes under understanding? This step helps to understand symbols we have seen and heard. Here we understand the symbols we have seen or heard. Here we do the analysis. We analyze the meaning of stimuli we have perceived. We analyze. Understand under this step, we analyze the meaning of stimuli. They may not be only through words, but also sounds like applause or sights, like, for example, blue uniform. That have symbolic meaning as well, right? You will agree? Yes, symbolic meaning. Okay, Nandini? Good. You understood? So under this step of understanding, what we do, we understand the symbols we have seen and heard. We analyze the meaning of the stimuli we have perceived. And it is not only through words, but also sounds like applause. If you applause, we know what is the meaning of applause. What does it signify? Or sights. If we see something like blue uniform, we know what does it mean. They are symbolic meaning. They have symbolic meanings. Yes, traffic signals. So the meaning attached to these symbols are a function. Meaning attached to these symbols, they are a function of our past association and of the context in which symbols occur. So for successful interpersonal communication, listener must understand the intended meaning and the context assumed by the sender. Agree? Listener, for effective communication, listener must understand, you have to understand the intended meaning and context assumed by the sender. Okay? So that was the step of understanding, means analyzing the stimuli. Analyze and then react. Fourth step is remembering. Now what remembering is important in listening process because it means that an individual has not only received and interpreted a message, but he has also added it to the mind's storage bank. Remembering now, ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने बस सुना और निकाल दिया, उसको ऊपर से जाने दिया. No, you have to remember what you have listened. Like this is a live example. This class is the live example. You are remembering what you are listening. Okay, so third step is remembering. That is very, very important. Means individual has not only received and interpreted a message, but has also added it to the mind's storage bank. Okay, now you'd agree. Listening, our attention is selective. So too is our memory. In listening, now you are listening to what I'm saying, your attention is selective, and that your memory as well. That is very, very selective. Now, what is remembered may be quite different from what was originally seen or heard. What you remember may be different from what you originally saw or heard. Okay, so now this is the fourth step of remembering. First was hearing, then attention, then understanding, then remembering word. Jyoti. Next is evaluating. Now in this step of evaluating, the only active listeners, they participate. Only active listeners participate at this stage of evaluating. At this point, the active listener weigh evidence, sort out facts from opinion, and determine the presence or absence of bias or prejudice in a message. Okay, evaluating. Now you evaluate. Only active listeners participate at this stage. Active listener weighs evidence. Evaluation means weigh karna, to assess. He weighs the evidence, sorts fact from opinion, and determines the presence or absence of bias or prejudice in a message. The effective listener makes sure that he or she does not begin this activity too soon. Some people, what they do before the other person starts speaking, they make the opinion and give their suggestions or their opinions or their recommendations. But the active listener, he does not start this activity too soon. What he does, he waits. He waits for the completion of message from the speaker, and if you will interfere, respond in between without listening to the complete message, then you are giving the signal that we are no longer hearing or attending to incoming message. And in that, what happens? This listening process ceases, it finishes, it ends. Okay, evaluating. Only active listeners participate at this stage of evaluation. They weigh the evidence, they sort out facts from opinion, and determine the presence or absence of bias or prejudice in a message. The active listener makes sure he or she does not begin this activity too soon. They wait for the speaker to end, then they will start evaluating. They interpret the message. Okay. Now, those who interrupt in between, they don't let the speaker to finish his message. So that ceases the effective listening process. So you have to keep patience and listen fully. Let the speaker finish his message. Then you start evaluating. Okay. Now the last and the sixth step in this is responding. Without responding feedback, this process is not complete. Here, the receiver completes the process through verbal or non-verbal feedback. Okay, response is very, very important. Feedback is of anything is very, very important because the speaker, the other party, he has no other way to determine if a message has been received or not and received properly or not. This is the only means by which sender may determine the degree of success in transmitting the message. Now, when I ask you the question, you respond back. Through your responses only, I can determine that I have been successful in transmitting the message. Okay. Now, can you tell me what is the first step in the process? Hearing. Good. Second. First is hearing. Second, attention. Very good. Third, understanding. Good. Fourth, remembering. Good. Fifth, evaluating. Good. Sixth, responding. Very good. So now you know the process of effective listening. Good. That shows you guys are listening very properly and you have good listening skills. I'm impressed. Good. What is the fourth step, Akash? Now this is a very, very fourth step. Fourth step. What is the fourth step? First is hearing. second is attention, third is understanding, fourth is remembering. You try it on yourself. Okay? कैसे आपको याद रहेगा? What are the steps? When you listen, just pay some attention and concentration. Close your eyes. When you listen, what you do, you will know the steps by yourself. You don't need to remember these steps. First you hear, then you pay attention, then you understand, then you remember, then you evaluate, and then you respond back. If you don't follow this process, effective listening would cease. It will come to an end. There will be no effective listening. Response and feedback is very, very important in all the cases, in all the fields. Response or feedback, without that, the whole process will be incomplete. Okay. Now we are taking up strategies of listening. Strategies of listening. See, you do this process every day, every time, this listening process. I don't need to make you guys learn this. This is a very, very natural process. Just pay some concentration, close your eyes, and think what I do when I listen. What steps do I follow? When I listen, first I hear. There's a difference between hearing and listening. For hearing, you don't have to listen, but for listening, you have to hear. Okay, what are hearing? What is hearing? Just the sound waves. You have to pay attention. When you will pay attention, you will sort of what is going in. Then you understand when it goes inside. You understand that. You analyze that. What I have heard. After you analyze, then what you do? Then you remember. After you analyze, you remember what I have heard, because you have to give back the answer, right? Because if someone is saying something to you, someone is transferring a message to you, you have to respond back. Like Abhi, we are doing it live. I'm telling you something. I'm asking you something. What I'm saying, it's going inside you. May not. It may be the 100% of what I'm saying. Maybe 50%, maybe 10%. But you are listening. You are paying attention. Then you are understanding what I'm saying. Then you are remembering. You evaluate. Then you respond back. When I ask you in the very short span of time, you go through these 6 stages. You hear, you pay attention, you understand, you remember, you evaluate, then you respond back. So it's a very, very quick process. Can you see that? Just apply it. Apply it to yourself. When I say something, the whole process takes seconds. Just fractions of seconds. When I say something, you hear, you pay attention, you filter, you understand, you analyze, you remember, you evaluate, then you respond back within a very, very short span of time, fractions of seconds, fractions. Okay. Now we are coming to Khushi. Yes, good. Milliseconds. Good, Rohan. Yes, milliseconds. Yes, Lakshmi. We are coming now to strategies of listening. There are 2 strategies of listening. Nanoseconds. Yes, answer. Now we are coming to strategies of listening. There are 2 strategies of listening. One is top-down strategy, another is bottom-up strategy. Top-down and bottom-up. Actually, the strategies, they are the techniques that contribute directly to the comprehension and recall of listening input. They are the techniques. Okay. Now first is top-down strategies. Listen carefully. These top-down strategies are listener-based. What happens here? The listener taps into background. He has some background knowledge of the topic, the situation, or the context, the type of text, and the language. So the listener, has some background knowledge of the topic which he is listening. This background knowledge activates a set of expectations that help the listener to interpret what is heard and anticipate what will come next. Since the listener has the background knowledge, some background knowledge, that activates his mind and it helps the listener to interpret what is heard and he anticipates what will come next because he has some background knowledge. So in top-down strategy, it is listener-based. Listener has some background knowledge of the topic like you guys have. As I told you, we are taking up communication today. So you have the background knowledge of this topic. You started responding immediately. Okay? And you anticipate also what will come next. Right? So this is top-down strategy, where the listener has background knowledge of the topic and he can anticipate, he can interpret also what is heard. अब जो सुन रहे हैं उसको interpret भी कर पा रहे हैं and you can anticipate also what will come next. Now I'll take an example. For example, you guys get a call from your friend telling you about a holiday he had gone for to some country, okay, so some good destination. Okay, you get a call from your friend and he's telling you about a holiday he had gone for. This is one example. So this is an example of top-down strategy. Can you tell me how would you listen to this message? How would you listen to this message? A friend telling you about a holiday, about holiday he had gone for. The way you will listen, since you have a background knowledge of what? Of topic. That someone has gone for a picnic. Yes, you know about that. The word picnic, that will give you some picture in your mind. Yes, what picnics होती क्या है? Picnic में होता क्या है? Right? So you have a background knowledge of the topic. Now you will try to interpret what is heard, and you will anticipate also what will come next. Since he has gone for a holiday, what will come next? Yes, he'll tell about the places he saw, the scenic beauty, the language, the food. This will be anticipated. Okay, do you get me? Yes, you start imagine because you have a background knowledge. Good, Ishita. Do you get me? You guys get me? What I'm trying to say? Yes. You can imagine because you have a background knowledge of the topic. The word picnic, when it comes to the mind, when you hear the word picnic, what comes to the mind immediately? The scenic beauty. Yes, he'll tell whether he goes to Switzerland, whether he goes to UK or US or he goes to Shimla. What he will be telling? What he will be telling? Yes. When the Yes, you can imagine if even if you have not gone there, you have not gone to that place, but still you can imagine and you will interpret what is heard and anticipate what will come next. So this top-down strategy involves what it includes. It's listening for the main idea. It's predicting, drawing in inferences, and summarizing. So when the listener has A background knowledge of the topic that knowledge activates a set of expectations that help the listener to interpret and what is heard and anticipate what will come next. This is top-down strategy. It involves four things. First is listening for the main idea. You listen to the main idea, like going for picnic. You predicting, can predict what might have happened. You draw inferences, then you summarize. So there are four things involved. Yes, you respond quickly also. Listening, you listen to the main idea, you predict, you draw inferences, you summarize. This is top-down strategy. Another example of putting a series of pictures or sequences of events in order, yeah, suppose you are putting a series of pictures. आपके background में, आपके room में, there may be a series of pictures or sequence of events in order. So through that also you can draw inferences. You can anticipate what we are talking about, what will come next. Suppose you go to some art gallery, there you see the paintings by M.F. Hussain or Picasso, and somebody is telling you something, so you can imagine easily that he will talk about M.F. Hussain's paintings and Picasso's paintings only. How did you draw this inference? By seeing the pictures, the background. So since you know the background, have the background knowledge, you can anticipate, you can predict what he will be, what will come next. Okay. Next is bottom-up strategy. There are two strategies of listening. Second is bottom-up. I'll stop after this because time will be over. It's already 10:44. I'll take one more minute, and I'm giving you the activity of top-down and bottom-up strategy. Bottom-up strategy, they are the text-based. Here, the listener relies on the language in the message, that is, the combination of sound, word, grammar that creates meaning. Bottom-up strategies are text-based, purely text-based. He doesn't have any background knowledge. For example, a friend calling you for a party, and he gives you details and he gives you the roadmap, how to reach his home, because you are going for the first time. They are the text-based bottom-up strategies. Example I'm taking, again, friend calling you for the party, and he gives you the details, he gives you the roadmap, how to reach his home. So when you listen to that, you go straight, then take a left, there you will find a red light, there is an intersection, you take left from there, then the third house and the fourth row. When he tells you this, you pay attention bit by bit. You pay attention to each and every word because you don't have any background knowledge of that. So when you pay attention like this, it is text-based. Whatever is said, word by word, bit by bit, you pay attention. Yes, then left, then right. From there, you have to do the U-turn. Then in the third gully, fourth house. Okay, when this type of conversation message is being given, then this is called bottom-up strategies. They are text-based. The listener relies on the language in the message, combination of sounds, words, grammar that creates meaning. What does it include? It includes listening for specific detail, recognizing cognates, recognizing word order patterns. Okay, they are active listeners. Yes. Okay, so there are top-down strategy, they are listener-based when you have the background knowledge. Then there is bottom-up strategy, they are text-based and he doesn't have any background knowledge. He relies bit by bit on the message, what is being transferred to him. He goes word by word. I have given you the example, a friend calling you, telling you about a holiday, a friend calling and inviting you for a party and he gives a roadmap to reach his goal. Now, in real life, do we use both the strategies? In real life, do you use both the strategies, top down and bottom up? Now, this is an activity for you. We'll meet day after, and I'll ask you, you give me example of top down and bottom up in your real life. Is that okay? If you ask me, I think today's lecture without video, that is, and without any PDF, without any write-up, it's going to be very fruitful for you. It will improve your listening skills. I'll give you the reference in the next lecture when I'll finish this listening skills. I'm giving you this activity, this homework. Give me examples of real life when you use top-down strategy and bottom-up strategy. Listener-based and text-based. This is an activity for you. Okay? We'll meet day after. We'll continue with listening skills only. So we are winding up. Thank you so much, guys. And sorry for all this technical problems, but we can't help it. Bye. Take care.